Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 18 on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Seahawks going up against the Ravens. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coming to you from the heart of Baltimore, nestled between Russell Street and I-395, we're at M&T Bank Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
To return, this is Doug Baldwin. Oh, he shifts. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
Point after here coming up. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded at the 8. And some room to work. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. On 1st and 10, Smith. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And a first carry here for Charles Sims. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Charles Sims, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Second down, they need less than a yard to pick up the first. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Watch him now, Barney. Set. Gun. Detroit.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Now they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And now it's third down. He'll drop to throw. He finds Coates complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Detroit! Let's go! Blue 90!
Now the fourth-year man from Texas A&M, Christian Michael. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Let's go! Blue 90!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
Detroit!
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
Let's go. Now, Jack, Patriot.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure.
And the pressure gets to him again. Frank Clark in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Throwing is Smith. Right side catch, Gilmore. And down he'll go at the 25. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
As they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball. Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. They'll set up a throw. Throw left side complete. It's Haynes. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you're expected to come after the quarterback, but in this case, he ran into the ball carrier. Really nice technique, because what you do is you come deep as the deepest offensive player, so he can't.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the longtime Charger, Eric Weddle. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. He is racking the sacks up. Charles, 5 last week, now 2 here.
I don't care what they've done in scheme. It's not working. I mean, you can do it all day. Look, on that last sack, I thought I saw him drop a Pro Bowl ballot at the feet of the quarterback and say, here's a pen, right in my name.
He keeps playing like this. He'll be dropping those ballots from a plane above the city. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. The offense got the ball in a good spot, but they went nowhere. They settled for 3.
Brandon, I think it's safe to say that was a major disappointment. Had a great opportunity, excellent field position, and did not be able to move the ball at all. Big-time letdown.
And he's got some space here. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Crockett Gilmore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try to loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first half.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. and good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
A handoff to start the drive to Sims. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the defense is going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Offense needs something here on second down. It is second and long. Out of the gun, Smith. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On first down, it's Smith. And he's got the hook up to Macklin. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Smith. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw on second down is Smith. Room here to run. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. The final shot here before break. Smith caught left side. Gilmore. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll bring up second down.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball. So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have, it's chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. Here's Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's going to score. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And, you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Now the try here for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers. They're usually
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
They'll run here with Sims. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run it again with Sims. And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got it at the 15. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. A little tough on the secondary there. End zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Charles Sims, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They're going to look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On play action, they'll throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. Now they run with Sims. And a short pickup here as he'll get up to about the 22-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Complete to Gilmore over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. And out now come the Seahawks. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. First down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. 85 yards. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bathima Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Here's Smith now on second down, setting up the screen for West. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, and then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offensive backfield has been something else in this game.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
And he motions the wide receiver. He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Smith turns and gives to West. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. They'll run again here with West. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The Ravens on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Here's West. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Back to throw. He's going to let it. And got his man complete. A big gain of 38 there on third down. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
Here we go. Detroit!
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the foot.
Now it's second down.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! No. Check. Patriot! Back 90, here we go!
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Ravens, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.